would you speak about it from that perspective?
Sure.
And then we'll go back to you, okay, Dave?
Okay. One of the things that's so powerful, what a lot of the marketers are using Twitter for, they're finding out that it could actually put a link or a website or a blog or a picture, as a matter of fact, into the search engines faster than fast. You could tweet and put together your 140 characters and put a post into Twitter and send it out. And if you do it the correct way, now there is a way to do it. You just can't do it any old way. There's a certain technique to it. And this is what we're going to show you as well. But Jim's right. Then all of a sudden you could look in Google or Yahoo or MSN, do a keyword search, and there it appears, not in the top 30, but in the top 10 under that keyword that you desired. And we just did this. We promoted an event that we just did in Roseville, California for a restaurant, and we just did that same technique, and they were nowhere to be found in the search engines, and the next thing you know, they were in 5 placements in the top 10 of the search engines.
Talk about Dave's placement. I mean, you were so excited about Dave and how successful he's been from an organic perspective.
Sure. And I don't think, Dave, you understood this in reality, what he was doing. You have to understand how Dave built his Twitter account. He was basically doing it as a social activity in the beginning. Well, he said he was doing it for marketing, and then he turned it into the social aspect. Right. And so, but he really didn't know the influence that he was creating out there. But in the internet world, the influence that he created was a page ranking within Google that he has a 610, which is high up on the page ranking of Google. And we won't explain that right now. But for those of you watching and listening right now, you understand that. But his influence of readers, just because his account has followers of 80,000, that's not the actual people that are looking at his account, because Twitter has timelines. There's 3 or 4 different timelines that it goes into. One of the timelines is the universal timeline of Twitter. And within that, there's people that could read what he's writing about. And that influence of power that he has is 300,000 plus. And he didn't even know that he had that much influence of 300,000 plus viewers taking a look at what he had to say. So this is the power of Twitter. These things we will show you how to do. And you might be thinking right now, well, I could never do that. I can tell you right now, you can. When they say, this is the part where everybody says it's a level playing field, this is the level playing field. If you ever really looked at a real true value of a level playing field, this is it.
You want to speak to that?
Yeah, I was going to say, I've been on Twitter for less than a year. It's been 11 months.
Mm-hmm.
So, and if I could do it, anybody can do it the way I look at that.
Yeah, but you've also got real experience. I mean,
yeah.
You didn't have a bunch of people teaching you how to do it. You kind of fell on your face, and then you started developing the relationships that actually got you to understand the do's and the don'ts.
Right. I actually I went on Twitter because of Joe the Plumber. That's how I got on Twitter.
He's telling the truth. That's
no, I was from Joe the Plumber. I didn't even know what Twitter was, and the reason why I even got on Twitter is because I saw that Joe the Plumber was being exploited by the media, so I wanted to just get on his blog, make a comment back to him. And anyway, I found out he was on Twitter. So what the heck's Twitter? I mean, it's a stupid name, Twitter. Anyway, so I signed up for Twitter just to talk to Joe the Plumber, is what the bottom line was. So I signed up, and we interacted, and that's the beginning of it. But anyway, make a long story short, I followed his followers, and that's what began everything. But like I said, I was stumbling, and the only way I was learning was because people on Twitter were nice enough to teach me the ropes. I mean, that was it. My learning experiences from other people that were on Twitter, and most people on Twitter are really helpful people. It's just.
But it took you a long time to learn.
Yeah, no.
So let's speed it up.
Yeah, they could do it a lot quicker if they, if I knew the ropes to begin with. Oh my God! I mean, really, so I wouldn't have been wasting my time. Wouldn't be spinning my wheels. I spent my wheels for a few months. If I knew what I knew now, my God, I'd have 400,000.
Yeah, really. I do believe that too, because I actually sat down with you when you had 800 followers.
Yeah.
And you were all excited about that.
Well, I was. I was saying, man, somebody's actually listening to me. Yeah.
And now you have 80,000. By the time we actually get this thing edited, I'm sure it'll be over 100,000. Not because we're slow at it, but that's just how long it takes.
Yeah.
But, do you want to add something else? Because we're going to wrap this thing up. What I really wanted to do here today was I wanted to accomplish value to the people that are viewing this, because they got to make a decision. There's so many people out there pitching buy my Twitter training program or buy this Twitter training program. But they're not really telling you what you're going to get.
That's right.
They have no clue. They don't know. I mean, and tell me I'm wrong on this. Most of those people that are pitching it have maybe 5,000 followers, 6,000 followers.
Yeah, there might be a few exceptions, but
very few
exceptions.
Yeah. What they are is there's somebody that kind of masters the basics, and which is great. Yeah. I mean, that's great information. But they've mastered the basics, and they're telling you, we're going to show you how to get 100,000 followers when they themselves haven't even done that. At least we've got somebody sitting here that's done it, sure. And he's also got the experience and the wisdom of the mistakes, so that
you learn from a mistake.
Yeah,
you don't have to repeat mine.
Well, and that's important to understand because I've made mistakes on Facebook, huge Facebook mistakes. I mean, I won't even tell you what's happened. But anyway, the bottom line is, if I had known what I knew, or I know now, I would have not done those things. And the same thing with Twitter.
True.
I remember. I don't know, one of you guys told me, well, when you get to 2,000, Jim, that's the hardest part, right? And because you taught me some things going into it, I flew over the 2,000, and I kept going without being stopped because you taught me how to do it, and I was doing the Follow Me Friday thing.
Yeah.
And because I did a combination of things with the information between the two of you, I got right through it, never stopped, was never delayed on anything.
That's true.
And we used some tools that were important to use to make sure that things were balancing out. I always stayed below the 2,000 while I was getting the followers, I guess it was. And anyways, long story short, the bottom line is a lot of people will get stuck at that 2,000 mark, and they don't even know they're going to get stuck there. They don't even know what the rules are.
Tell me about that. Well, the rules are not even on there. That's the problem. Twitter doesn't have any true rules. It's all whatever they want to do at a given time. But so everything's kind of an experiment. How many people can I follow without being shut off? That kind of stuff.
But you guys have learned it.
Yeah, I know how to stay below the radar anyway.
Well, the experts say this, that you make Twitter what you want it to be. That's basically what you create. And one of the things that I wanted to say about, Jim, what are we going to bring to the table for these lessons that we're going to bring out, is pretty much Dave has learned the viral effect of this and the social aspect of it. And I've learned the technical part of it, what makes it work, how it goes. And from the search engine optimization point, there's always keyword values that are very important. So what we're going to do is take the two of those, combine them to two. Now, I can tell you this, if you go out onto the internet for any kind of business that you have, whether it's brick and mortar, internet marketing, whatever type of marketing you're doing, you can grab what they call leads and purchase them. And low value leads, you could purchase them for almost $1 per lead on any subject you want. And it comes with different variations of what it is. You might just retrieve their email addresses, their home addresses, plus their phone numbers. But for good quality leads, depending on what subjects you're after, you could pay as much as $10 to $100 per lead. One of the things we're going to teach you is how to get those quality people. With the experience of Dave and our team, that's one of the things that is probably the most powerful thing that we're going to show you, is how to get not just a following, but the quality of following that you desire to make your business go to the next level.
That was important too. And again, just, there's so much we could talk about, but the bottom line is, I think you'll both agree with me, because I'm sure you've seen what I've seen on the internet and on Twitter, and that people are pitching, I can show you how to get to 5,000 followers in 30 days,
yeah, but that's not marketing a product. That's just getting followers, too.
And that's just getting followers.
Yeah, that is way more than just followers. Followers is just part of the thing.
So the misnomer is that it's one thing to get followers, but it's another thing to get the followers that you're talking about, the ones that they really want.
That's right.
So you're getting quality and followers. And by the way, there's a lot of people out there, so they got tools that can do X, Y, Z. And I don't know if you remember what Dave said just a moment ago, but he says there's a place where you need to be under the radar. And if you do too much using these tools, not that we won't make the tools available. We'll make the tools available to them. But the point is that you've got to know what the radar is. Otherwise, Twitter will shut your account off.
Yeah.
That is a fact.
Yeah.
So
I've had 2 shut down by experimenting. So it can and will happen if you do it incorrectly.
So the goal,
guaranteed.
The goal is to give the advice, warn them, so they don't get overzealous and do too much, and then all that hard work that they put into goes to waste.
Yep.
Because that's a lot of work to build a large following.
Oh yeah.
Any last comments?
I pretty much covered the basics, and sure going to tell them a whole bunch more.
Yeah.
Well, I think this is a really combination that's going to revolutionize what you're doing for your business. And I highly suggest that you take a look and you actually follow what we're doing and come into the program.